Hello and welcome, everybody. Brooklyn Beats Football is on the air and online. We're going to take a look at the off-season moves here before we get you set for Week 1 against the Seahawks of the 2018-2019 regular season. In Week 3, we had to make some tough decisions, and we released Robert Griffin III, tight end Wesley Holm, left end Henry Kism, kicker Mario Alvarez, strong safety Henry Lober. And then the last week of the preseason, we added Watts Gallery, Trey Bowen, Tyree Spikes, Rashid Spinks, Quadarius Gilmore, Rashad Huntington to the practice squad. And then we had to release a couple more guys. So we released Aaron Moss, the running back, Chris Kantorowicz, the right end, defensive tackle George Thornton, and we traded Nick Brown to the Saints. Just to name a few, we got a 2019 round 5 and round 6. And then the last week of the preseason, we added Henry Lober, Frank Sally, Stephen Bledsoe, and Eugene Simpkins to the practice squad, rounding out the 10 players that needed. I was really surprised when they announced George Thornton and Chris Kantorowicz. I wasn't really surprised about Aaron Moss. He did not have a good offseason and preseason, although we did have a couple touchdowns. Chris Kantorowicz and George Thornton really surprised me there. Hopefully they can flourish elsewhere. So now we're going to go ahead and get you ready for Week 1 of the regular season at our home stadium against the Seahawks. This has been Randy Replay. I'll see you at halftime.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Seahawks going up against the Beats. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Seattle Seahawks and the Brooklyn Beats. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Brooklyn ball club, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson. From midfield now. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Play action. It's Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. All kinds of time. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Going up top. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Nice play for the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Inside, they might put a big hit on him as they try and catch the ball.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead from 53. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will tie us at 3-3.
And they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 27 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur...
Before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll look to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And hello and welcome to a live look-in replay. Randy Replay here, of course. We're going to take a look at the little things that happened in this play that allowed this sack by Richard Salty, the Wookiee, not the rookie, the Wookiee, as in Star Wars, to get this sack. So here we go. Russell Wilson out of the shotgun. Great coverage down the field. Nothing really too open. He's going to move to the right. Now watch. We're going to take a look at these linebackers. They are sitting back in a QB spy. Danny Pickering and Dan Nolte, I do believe, there on the right side. They're going to move with Russell Wilson. As you can see, he's going to move out to the left. They're going to move left. He's going to go back to the right. Dan Nolte's going to cut into the right, as well as Danny Pickering here cutting into the right with Russell Wilson, allowing Richard Salty to shed his block of the running back. You're not going to stop him with a rookie running back in Procise, and Richard Salty is going to bring down Russell Wilson for the 4th sack of this game. Wait for it. Wait for it. The Wookiee strikes back, and that is going to put Russell Wilson and the Seattle Sea Chickens in a 4th down punting situation as the punter's trotting onto the field. We'll get you back to the game. Hey! This is Randy Replay. I'll see you at halftime.
Backing the football.
Looking to throw. Flushed out right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And he's got the big tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham from 4 yards out. Back to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. They'll look to throw again. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half. There's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Really good job by the offense there. Every second counts right now. So for them to get out of bounds and save some time, that's a nice move.
Fresh set of downs here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver as time expires in the first half. And his guys have made this a one-score game now.
Did I just see all of that happen? Did I just see the pass, the catch in the end zone for a touchdown, the clock go to zeros? All we've got now is the PAT left before we end a really good half.
Yeah, that's it. It makes it a 16-10 game now. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Beats have an edge in time of possession right now. The Seahawks, though, are still right in this game and will certainly be looking for a way to pull this one out in the second half.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody, to your halftime break. This is Randy Replay, getting you set for everything Brooklyn Beats football in the second half of this rematch from the NFC Championship game last year that came down to the final seconds. Fitting only, it comes down to the final seconds here in the second half, or the second quarter, rather, that we get our first touchdown in our brand new stadium. Luke Slazewski on just a bomber from Smagel. We're going to go back and we're going to actually take a look at that 48-yard pass. Now, this is just insane. Testing Richard Sherman here all day. Looking around the field, there's nobody really open. Darian Wilson out there to the left is double covered. Blake Letelier breaks late, so he draws the safety over to the middle of the field. Smeagol moving in the pocket. He moves out of the pocket. There's a couple linebackers and a spy. There's really nothing open. Justin Vanderschaff able to get the first down over there possibly, but it's opening day. He sees the safety move, so he takes a shot down the field, wobbly pass over the safety's head. It's a one-on-one match at this point against Richard Sherman and Luke Slazewski, and Luke Slazewski just hangs on to the ball, gets a hit from Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor, rather. Now watch his head. Luke Slazewski's head is going to just bang right there on the end zone. He is getting tested for concussion protocol right now. Nothing serious, just as a precaution here during the halftime break. And we'll get you all the information on that. But look at this. Richard Sherman, one of the best in the league. Of course, that 2012 Meltdown interview, try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree. Actually, I do believe that was 2013. It's neither here nor there. Maybe even 2014. But we tested you with not a sorry receiver like Crabtree, but the best receiver on this football team. As far as one-on-one battles goes, Luke Slazewski has beaten the best in the business, and he does it again here for a score to bring it within 6 points, and we get the ball coming out of the halftime break. So we're going to get into the game stats. We're just going to take a look at the leaders. The running game not really doing much here today because of the Seahawks run defense, best in the league. Smagel, 58.4 QB rating, 13 for 27. That is 48% completion percentage. For those of you that didn't know how to do math or didn't look over here, 225 yards. Now these incompletions, some of them were really bad overthrows, and some of them were just underthrown, thrown in the backs of linemen. It's got to be the rust because he has not had a good preseason or a good training camp. He was okay, but it wasn't like we saw out of a starting quarterback. Should he is a backup. We'll have Kenny Erickson back next week. He's just kind of coasting here. 1 touchdown to Luke Slazewski and then 2 interceptions on the day. Rushing. Justin Vanderschaft leads the team in carries. 8 carries for 32 yards. They've been feeding him the rock, and it's hasn't really been paying off because of these linebackers, and this defensive line that he's facing is very, very strong and one of the best in the league, as I alluded to earlier. Sam Gable, 1 with 19. Of course, Travis Parker, 1 rush, -1 yards, and Danny Hendricks, 1 for 0 on the day. Look for the running game to take shape here as we hopefully get the lead and then coast through the second half. The defense has been doing a good job. It's just the offense that needs to get moving. Receiving, Lou Wang leads the team with 3 catches and 42 yards. Travis Lee in second place, 3 for 38. And then, of course, Luke Slazewski, 2 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 40 yards per reception. So he is the deep threat in this game. Nobody cares about blocking, so we're going to go to defense and look at total tackles. And there is a possibility we might see a double-double at the end of this one. But Jacob Pickering in the first half already has 9 tackles. He leads the team in tackles as of this point. And then Zachary Anderson and Xavier Rhodes coming with 3. So they need to get going for any chance for a double-double. Sean Clausen, Robert Nichols, and Scott Rethwell and Jacob Pickering each with a tackle for loss. Sacks, we have a bundle of sacks. 5 sacks in the game. Tevin Fair, Richard Salty, Terrell Oliver, Josh Fitzer, and Drew Ward. No interceptions. 2 pass deflections by Robert Nichols and Thaddeus Rozu. 1 forced fumble by Terrell Oliver, scooped up by Jawan Winters, the rookie sensation middle linebacker out of Southern Illinois. No fumbled return yards. There was a block kick, extra point I should say, by Robert Nichols. No safeties and no defensive touchdowns for your Brooklyn Beats in the first half of the opening game here to start the 2018-2019 season. So my takeaways from the first half: defense, just keep doing what you're doing. We held Russell Wilson to under 100 yards in the first quarter, and now he has come back and he has hit 212 yards. Now we're going to take a look at Thomas Rawls, a guy that has destroyed us last season, specifically in the championship game. He has had a decent outing here, 13 for 66 and a touchdown. He's averaging just about 5. And of course, containing Russell Wilson will be the main focus, as we have earlier. And only to 15 rushing yards. Of course, our middle linebacker Spies that we've talked about is creating sacks, and he has been sacked 5 times here today. So defense, just keep doing what you're doing. Offense, we got to get the running game moving so that these passing lanes can open up as they have been. This has been Randy Replay for your halftime break. I'll see you after the game where I can hopefully call a Brooklyn Beats win. See you.
This is a 26-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Wilson going to throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores.
The stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now.
When you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. A big play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys.
Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
Way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from him.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now Wilson on second down. Finding time. Great protection. Oh, no, he lost the football.
You watch it on the screen, but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw...
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you. Let him go to the football and make a play.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdowns, Tyler Lockett. They get to the line. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time in the pocket, and he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Seahawks, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.
And with that so long, we welcome you back up here into the booth. And the Brooklyn Beats. Defense falling apart in the fourth quarter. The offense turning the ball over a couple of times there in the fourth quarter. If we go ahead and look at the box score, as you can see, if they did not score as many times as they did, this would only be a 19-23 game. There at the end, we added 13 points in the fourth after not scoring a single point in the third. The defense actually played really well during this game, not allowing a ton of points until the fourth quarter. They kind of just collapsed, although there were some good plays here by the defense in the fourth quarter. I don't know if it was nerves, beginning of the new season, or if it was just the expectations, you could say, of a brand new team. First game that they've ever played here that matters. Preseason was okay to us, but either way, Brooklyn Beats fall 41-23, and in a underwhelming day for the offense. We're going to get into the stats here. So for the first game, Smeagol, we will have Kenny Erickson back. Smeagol is the backup, of course. 60.5 QB rating. He was 22 for 42. That is 52% completion percentage. For those of you that don't know how to do math or didn't look over here. 388 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Now, thereafter the last interception in the fourth quarter that went for 6, we went to Blair Whiting. Blair Whiting, a near perfect day, 148.5 QB rating, 7 for 7. That is 100% completion percentage. For those of you that don't know how to do math or didn't look over here. 71 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. So Blair Whiting comes in the fourth quarter, does a no-huddle offense, kind of like another number 18 that we used to know. And he punches it into the end zone with the help of Luke Slazewski. They go for 2, and Luke Slazewski catches it out of the end zone, and it's no good. The running game kind of picked up here in the second half. Nothing really too special against the best running defense in the NFL. Justin Vanderschaft led the team with 9 carries, 37 yards, averaging 4.1. Sam Gable, 5 carries, 12 yards, averaging just under 2.5 a carry. Travis Parker had a couple more carries for 14 yards, 3 of them to be exact. Danny Henricks, the Super Bowl MVP from last year, 2 carries, 3 yards, 1.5, and Matthew Peterson had 1 for 1 to get on the good side of a third down conversion. I'm sorry, but Luke Slazewski stole the day for the offense, in my opinion. He gets the MVP of the game, 9 catches, 227 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Going up against Richard Sherman for a good majority of the game, there was nothing that he could do. He broke up at least 2 of the catches, but this was his day for sure. 3 touchdowns and 227 yards. Lou Wang, 4 for 49. Darian Wilson, 3 for 37. Travis Lee, 3 for 38. Josh Gable, 2 for 26. Anthony Bisbee, 2 for 16. Blake Letelier, 2 for 23. Cameron Quick, 2 for 19. Danny Henricks, 1 for 17. And Justin Vanderschaft, 1 for 7. We're going to take a look at the drops here because this was a big stat for the day. It's not going to show up on the stat sheet too much, but today we're gonna put some light onto it here. So all of these, I believe, came on third downs where we needed to have a catch and a run. Josh Gable had 2 drops, Anthony Bisbee with 1, and Lou Wang also with 1. Nobody cares about blocking, and we're going to go to defense and look at total tackles. And we missed out on the double-double, but Jacob Pickering adds 1 more tackle to end the day with 10. He now leads the team in total tackles. Zachary Anderson, Chimukwa, Jawan Winters with 6, Kevin Stark with 5, Justin Lewis and Xavier Rhodes with 4, Josh Fitzer, Scott Rethwell, Aaron Nelson, Drew Ward, Tevin Fair, Josiah Russell, Thaddeus Rosu with 3, Matthew Arnsdorf, Richard Salty, Sean Clausen, Robert Nichols, Thomas Cross, Paul Fridgie with 2, Darian Wilson, Ryan Buelow, Otis McMillan, Danny Pickering, Cameron Quick, Tri Turner, the right guard, Terrell Oliver, and Jeremy Lindsay with 1. Tackles for loss, we had a ton of them. Justin Lewis, Chimukwa, Juwan Winters, and Jacob Pickering with 2. Ryan Buelow, Otis McMillan, Tevin Fair, Sean Clausen, Robert Nichols, Kevin Stark, and Scott Rethwell, each with 1. Sacks, you better believe 10 sacks in this game alone. 9, sorry. Justin Lewis, Tevin Fair, Richard Salty, Josiah Russell, Chimukwa, Terrell Oliver, Josh Fitzer, Drew Ward, Kevin Stark, each with a sack in this game. This sets the record in the series, I do believe, for most sacks in one game. 9 of them. Interceptions, there were none, though. We're going to take a look at pass deflections. There were 3. Robert Nichols, Zachary Anderson, and Thaddeus Rosu. I do believe Zachary Anderson added 1 after the halftime break. And Justin Lewis will add a sack fumble. Of course, not recovered. We do have 1 recovery, but that was from Terrell Oliver's sack fumble. Or forced fumble, I should say. And recovered by Juwan Winters, the rookie sensation. And field goal blocks, we had 1 by Robert Nichols, 0 touchdowns, and 0 safeties by your Brooklyn Beats defense. I almost said Minnesota Vikings again. It's hard to do, but yes, Brandon Baker was 1 for 2. That is 50% field goal percentage. He had 1 blocked, as you can see here. Longest of 53. He was 2 for 2 on extra points, though. Made it 100. Punting, Taylor Pauline had 4 punts in this game, 173 yards, netting 160. And then 2 inside the 20. So we're going to go on to kick returns now. Zachary Anderson, 4 for 103, and Luke Slazewski, 2 for 28. Right? 2 for 48. I do apologize. And then punt returns Luke Slazewski. That is a hard name to say. 1 for 17. So that is going to do it here. We're going to bring you back to the main screen and prep you for next week's game against the Detroit Lions. And here we go. Back at the main screen, there are trade offers for Xavier and Howard. We will take a look at those next week as we advance the week here. The Brooklyn Beats are now 0-1 on the season. And we have the Detroit Lions here at Brooklyn Heights Stadium. Returning from injury, Kenny Erickson is available to play again. So we're going to field trade offers for our best corner on our roster. Now we need at least a round 2 for this year because we are giving up quite a bit. We would have to pick up another corner or add one from the practice squad, and there's not really anything out there. This guy's going to be the best at age 25, 4 career interceptions. And there's really nothing. They're really lowballing us. There is a round 2 in next year's draft, but we need a round 2 this year. And this is something that we could use to our advantage here to get some good talent. So the best is a round 4 this year, and then a round 5 this year, and a round 7. So that'll give us 2 draft picks in the middle of the draft to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they will get a much-needed corner. So that is something to think about during this off week. Well, not off week, but 7 days until the next football game. So once again, your Brooklyn Beats fall to 0-1 on the season and are now in dead last place, tied with the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North, as the bottom of the barrel last year Chicago Bears are 1-0. What a turn of events. So looking ahead, week 2, we have the Detroit Lions. Week 3, we are at Chicago. And I do believe that starts a 4-game away stand as we have the Bears and the Dolphins to begin. So once again, your Brooklyn Beats, your favorite football team, falls to the Seattle Seahawks at home in our stadium opener and 2018-2019 season opener, 41-23. The best thing to know, that is the best running defense we will face, so the running game can only go up from here. We will be back to preview next week and bring you next week's game here from the SSN. This has been Randy Replay.